Right, Rangers fans, buckle up because today's video is absolutely packed with drama, big names, and some massive decisions looming over Ibrox. We've got Chris Boyd buzzing about excellent news, Ali McCoist dropping some hard truths about Clement, and Derek McInnes being branded the perfect fit for Rangers. Aye, you heard that right. But it doesn't stop there. Cyril Dessers could be in serious trouble after a transfer bombshell. James Tavernier's Rangers career might just be hanging by a thread. And there's talk of signing a special player that Jamie Carragher absolutely loves. You do not want to miss this one because these headlines will have you debating, raging, and hopefully smiling by the end. Well, this is one to chew on, isn't it? Chris Boyd's buzzing about Patrick Stewart's appointment, and fair play. Coming from a place like Manchester United, the man must know a thing or two about running a ship this size. If you've survived that lot's pressure cooker, then surely sorting out Rangers will feel like handling a wee neighborhood barbecue. But let's not get carried away here. A fancy CV is one thing, but success at Rangers demands more than just clever boardroom chat and experience. This is Rangers, not some business project. We've been crying out for someone to sort the mess at the top for ages. Too many people have coasted along, while fans were left clinging to scraps of hope and a prayer. If Patrick Stewart's the guy to get ruthless and finally bring the club back to its rightful glory, then good on him. Still, it's not all corporate buzzwords and hope. He's stepping into Rangers when things are, let's say, not at their finest. Fans are fed up, rivals are gloating, you know who, and expectations will be sky high from day one, so all eyes will be on him come December to see if he's all talk or the real deal. Here's a spicy one for you. Do you think Stewart's appointment is the start of a new era, or is it just another flash in the pan from the boardroom trying to keep fans quiet? Well, here we go again. Another January, another long list of transfer targets to get us all dreaming. Rangers are being linked with some big potential moves, but let's focus on this Joe Gelhardt talk for a moment. Leeds don't seem to know what to do with the lad, yet here's Jamie Carragher singing his praises like he's the second coming of Kenny Dalglish. Special talent, apparently. Well, let's see about that. Gelhardt's clearly got ability, no question. He wouldn't have the likes of Liverpool legends backing him otherwise. But if Leeds can't find a place for him and he's struggling to get a game in the Championship, is he really what Rangers need right now? We're not exactly short of lads who might come good. What we need is someone who will come in and deliver straight away. Mind you, if he's hungry and itching to prove himself, a move to Rangers could be exactly what sparks his career. But let's be real, he won't walk into a guaranteed spot here either. Our squad needs experience and consistency to steady the ship, not just young potential. Oh, and with Portsmouth, Stoke, Preston, and a few Belgian sides sniffing about, Rangers better get a move on if they're serious. A bidding war's the last thing we need when cash is tighter than the Celtic backline on a bad day. So here's the spicy bit for your comments section. Do Rangers need another prospect like Gelhardt, or should we stop faffing about and sign proven quality in January instead? Well, Ali McCoist doesn't mince his words, does he? The mood around Rangers is as grim as a rainy Tuesday in Govan, and you can't blame the fans for being fed up. 11 points behind Celtic. It's like watching your neighbor win the street raffle every year while you're stuck fixing a leaky roof. Painful stuff. Now, Clement's position isn't exactly rock solid, but Ali's nailed it. The cash situation is what's keeping him in the job. If Rangers had pockets as deep as Celtic's, or even a bit more wiggle room, you can bet Clement would have been shown the door by now. But with that 4-year deal and the compensation that had come with sacking him, it's no wonder the board are dithering. They've tied themselves up in financial knots. The irony? A bit of ruthlessness now might save us in the long run. Yet here we are, potentially facing a grim January transfer window because the budget's being eaten up by managerial contracts. It's a mess, and one that Patrick Stewart's fancy CV will need more than a PowerPoint presentation to fix. Here's one for the Rangers faithful to argue over. Should the board bite the bullet, sack Clement, and risk the financial hit, or is sticking with him the only way to avoid sinking further into the mire? Oh, Cyril Desires, our so-called top scorer this season. The numbers don't lie, but they also don't tell the full story, do they? 4 goals in 12 league matches and 1 in Europe isn't exactly the kind of form that fills you with confidence about mounting a title challenge. You'd think he was allergic to the back of the net some games. Now, with Joe Gelhardt's name floating about as a potential January signing, the writing's on the wall for Dezers. If this doesn't light a fire under him, I don't know what will. The lad needs to sort himself out. Sharpish. Rangers can't afford passengers, especially not up front. Strikers are meant to be difference makers, and right now Dezers is more miss than hit. The big problem? Luring Gelhardt to Rangers might be easier said than done. Championship clubs, Belgian sides, and who knows who else are sniffing about, and let's face it, our league position and financial situation don't exactly scream come here for glory. If we pull it off, it'll be a minor miracle, and Clement, or whoever's in charge come January, will deserve a pat on the back. Here's a proper debate starter. Does Cyril Desires deserve more time to prove himself, or should Rangers cut their losses and put all their energy into replacing him in January? Well, it looks like the writing's on the wall for James Tavernier, doesn't it? The man's been a pillar for Rangers, and for years he's delivered moments of brilliance. But football's a cruel game, and sentimentality rarely wins titles. At 33, Tav's legs aren't getting any younger, and Dujon Sterling seems to be stepping up at just the right moment. Let's not sugarcoat it, though. Seeing Tav benched for the Dundee United game felt like the symbolic passing of the torch. Clement's clearly ready to look to the future, and Sterling's versatility gives him an edge. Tav's leadership might still hold value, but if his on-pitch performances don't match the badge on his arm, there's no room for him in the starting 11. Not when we're trailing Celtic by double digits and desperately trying to claw back some respectability. Now, the sentimental side of this stings. Tav's been a loyal servant to the club, a leader through thick and thin, and let's not forget the goals and assists he's chipped in over the years. But football's about evolution, and Rangers can't afford to cling to the past if they want to close the gap on our green-clad neighbours. With Patrick Stewart and Malcolm Offord settling in, it's time for big calls, and Tav's future might just be one of them. Should Rangers show loyalty to James Tavernier for his years of service, or is it time to let him go and fully commit to a rebuild? Derek McInnes, the perennial what-if for Rangers. Every time there's a managerial wobble, his name crops up like clockwork, and now Ross McCormack's throwing him into the mix as the perfect fit. Well, let's unpack this, shall we? McInnes is as steady as they come in Scottish football. He's proven he can keep a team punching above its weight, be it Aberdeen or Kilmarnock, and his experience could bring a bit of order to the chaos at Rangers. But let's not kid ourselves, managing Rangers is a completely different beast. It's not just about beating the rest of the league, it's about being better than the mob across the city. That's the real measure. And let's be honest, McInnes hasn't exactly set the heather alight when it comes to winning big games. The idea of bringing him in as a stopgap while we clear out deadwood and stabilize the squad isn't the worst shout, though. Rangers are in a tricky spot financially and on the pitch, so a pragmatic manager who knows how to work with a limited budget might be exactly what's needed, at least in the short term. But would he inspire the fans? That's a harder sell. For many, he's not the blockbuster appointment they'd hope for, even if he might be what we need right now. Here's one to stir the pot. Would appointing Derek McInnes show ambition to steady the ship, or a lack of vision to take Rangers back to the top? Comment below what you think about the news. Don't forget to leave a like on the video to help me out. I post videos every day talking about our Rangers, so if you're not subscribed, you're missing out on the latest news. See you soon.